Blimey. Good morning. Welcome to today's ride. Let's see what damage I've done. Well, here we go with today's first real test. Day Lane. Short, sharp little climb. 7%, 400 meters. Well, there we go, that's Day Lane. Wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination, but nowhere near as hard as I thought. Okay, so the damage I'm referring to is the damage that I've done to my fitness over the last month or so. A couple of weeks ago I was out in Canada for 2 weeks, and although I did manage to hire a bike for, well, 10 days of that 2 weeks, and I managed to get out and do several rides just to keep my fitness ticking over. Obviously, keeping your fitness ticking over is very different than actually doing proper rides. So yeah, today I'm out just to test and see where my fitness is after my time in Canada. Morning. All right. Morning. I flew back to the UK a couple of weeks ago, and even being back home hasn't been that straightforward. For the first week, I was absolutely shattered. For some reason, I just could not get over the time difference and the jet lag. I felt absolutely awful. I did go out and do a few rides on the bike, but they weren't particularly long or challenging. And then last Sunday I did a very hilly 40 kilometers, and that just wiped me out for the rest of this week for some reason. Now today is Saturday, and I've just come out to do one of my very regular little quick go-to routes. So this is my Southwark route, 25 kilometers, 350 meters of climbing. So not desperately challenging, but I think it's kind of what I need at the moment, just to get me back into the swing of things. I'm also going to be taking it relatively easy on this ride. Not going to push myself, just going to have some fun. The weather today is pretty nice too, so 22 Celsius, relatively blue skies, and most importantly, very little wind. Unfortunately, the thing that's not so great today is the bike I'm riding. I made the mistake of taking my gravel bike today, and I haven't ridden it for a few weeks, so the front derailleur is very sticky. It's not changing between the big ring and the small ring at all. So I'm just going to have to soldier on with that today and sort it out when I get home. I'm really trying to make the most of this nice weather that we've got at the moment. because it's the last week of August, and before I know it, the weather's going to turn. It's going to be autumn. It's going to be getting colder, darker, wetter, windier, and it's just going to be, yeah, not very pleasant cycling. Normally when I film these ride vlogs, I use a regular action cam and I kind of hold it out in front of me. But today you'll notice it looks a little bit different. It looks like I've got a little drone in front of me or something, but I'm actually using an Insta360 camera. It's mounted on the front of the bike here, and it gives me a 360-degree view of me and the bike, and then it kind of magically erases the mount that it's on, so it looks like the camera's just floating in midair. But in addition to that, I'm also testing out a new piece of kit. Even though it's a little busy, I do like this faster downhill section on the run into Southwark Village. But what's going to be a little tricky today is the actual climb into the village. Normally I change down into my small ring, but today I've got to take it on in the big ring. No, that wasn't actually too bad. The piece of kit that I'm trying out today is actually this, the new Mic Air from Insta360, and it's designed to work with several of their cameras. Today I'm using it with the X5 that I've got on the front of the bike here, and all of the audio that you're hearing today will be coming from this mic. Now the beauty of this Mic Air is that it connects to the cameras wirelessly via Bluetooth. Previously, if I wanted to use an external mic, I had to attach a receiver which sat on a frame underneath the camera, and that made it all a little bit too heavy. And although it didn't really affect the performance of the bike, it did mean that the risk of it falling off increased. And obviously, yeah, that would mean damage to the camera, damage to the microphone, not to mention, yeah, if it went in your front wheel or something and you fell off, damage to you. So this is a really nice, clever, sophisticated, all-in-one solution. Okay, another little fitness challenge here, going up White Horse Lane in the big ring. It is currently, let's see, 3%, which isn't too bad. Depending on the bike I'm using, I'd go up here in the big ring usually, depending on fitness as well, of course. Sometimes I go up in the small ring, and even then it's a little bit challenging, but yeah, today doesn't seem too bad. All right, I'll stop. All right. Okay. The main reason I want to check and see what damage I've done, apart from just seeing what my general fitness is like, is because in about 3 weeks' time, I'm back out doing another Pyrenees trip. I fly out to Barcelona, head up to Girona, where I'll start a ride that goes over the Pyrenees into France, and then we go back over the Pyrenees into Spain again. The whole thing takes about 6 days, and it's going to be fun, but I think it's going to be quite tough. So obviously I need to be as fit as possible for that, and this is where it all starts now, just working on that fitness. Well, that was the last slightly tough climb of the day, going from Broadway Lane back into Day Lane, and again had to climb it in the big ring, normally in the small ring up there, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was expecting it to be really tough, but no, relatively easy. There we go, that's me more or less home. And I have to say that I am actually pleasantly surprised that I managed to salvage a little bit of my fitness after coming home from Canada. When I returned last year, I only did one ride out there, and I could feel that my fitness had plummeted like a stone, and I was struggling to regain it after that. So yeah, very, very pleasantly surprised. So that's going to stand me in good stead for the ride that I've got coming up in France and Spain in a couple of weeks' time. I do need to do some work, but hopefully I can pull something back in the next couple of weeks or so. And by the way, that trip is open to viewers and subscribers of the channel. So if you want to join me on an epic adventure cycling through Spain and France and then back into Spain again over the Pyrenees, then I'll leave a link in the description below. And similarly, if you'd like some more information about the Insta360 X5 camera or their new mic Air, I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.